All right, let's start with this great viewer question. This person wants to know, if all of us are staying home, where are all the new confirmed cases coming from? So doctors say we're still in a catch-up phase of testing. It's estimated there are about 10 infected people for every 1 case we find with testing. Also, not all of us are staying home, and with an incubation period of 2 to 10 days, people who are sequestered today might have been exposed a week ago before isolating. Next question is one that many parents can relate to. This person wants to know, can my daycare charge me if they close during the pandemic? So we reached out to the Oregon Department of Education. It really depends on the agreement or contract you have with your daycare. The Office of Child Care does not regulate this area, but they do ask that child care providers use discretion with their billing policies so they don't hurt those families who are under financial stress during this current situation. And our next question is one we've seen on Facebook and several viewers have written us about. This person wants to know, can people with type O blood ward off the virus or keep it at a minimum? So this information came from a study in Wuhan. The researchers concluded that blood group A had a significantly higher risk for COVID-19 compared with non-A blood groups, and blood group O had a lower risk for the infectious disease. But at the end of the day, researchers say we need more research on this and a larger group to study before we can say that this is a fact. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. Please continue to reach out to us on social media. You can email us at callkristen@kgw.com, and every night at 7 o'clock, we're dedicated to answering your coronavirus questions.